3BC.
Hello, Boos and Bays. This is your girl, Joy, and you are listening to 3BC, empowered by the Kazuki Network. I have my BCs here, Casey, the Alchemist, and Nebula. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
How are y'all?
Good.
We
Good.
here.
Beautiful Saturday.
It is a beautiful Saturday.
Finally. So I was freezing my ass off.
So we want to talk about something a little different today, and that is BBWs and the men who love them. And for those who don't know, me and Casey was just saying we think it's we refer to it as big black women, but it's actually big beautiful women because it's women of all ethnicities. But
We guess.
for the for the purposes of this show, we could say big black women, big beautiful black women, beautiful black women, beautiful black women. But we're really talking about big black women. So, Nebula is self-described as a BBW, so we wanted to make sure we have her come on and talk about it a little bit. Could you share some interesting stories, Nebula?
Interesting.
In one of our last conversations, you talked about, the types of men who like BBWs.
Well, in my experience, the type that are not followers of the crowd, who are their own man. You got to be pretty confident because, when I was younger, I guess that would be the late 80s, early 90s. It wasn't necessarily the thing, right? Mm-hmm. And I've had a boy, a teenager, tell me that his friend said, Nebula's too big for you. She's just too big for you.
So you were heavy set all your life, though?
All my life, yeah. From about 6 or 7 years old. Mm-hmm. I've been my size now. Everybody who knows what a size 22 is, that's a big girl. So... Yeah, I just
different. How tall are you though, Nebula?
I'm only 5'5". I'm not that tall. Yeah,
you were taller than that.
Yeah, I wish. I think it may be my seat at my office, maybe.
I think it's the way you carry yourself, because I thought you was at least 5'9".
Mm-hmm. Oh God, no, I'm a little one. And that's a good point you bring up, Casey. It is about how you carry yourself. It's always about how you carry yourself, whatever size you are. And I think a lot of us black women that are BBWs, we made it cool to be a BBW. We made it something that was not shameful. Because, black women ain't never going to be ashamed of themselves. They always going to have the nice clothes on, perfectly done hair, makeup, nails, jewelry. And we were like, take us or leave us. Now, some of the most famous, quote unquote, I don't know, fat models or fat acceptance models are all white women. It's really kind of funny and strange because I'm going to say this. I think some white men would rather be dead than caught with a big white woman. Like that's not,
what? I'm going to say this. I'll say this. I know when I was in college, I'll never forget this. I remember this guy saying, but it's so big. He was talking about a white girl, but it's perfectly fine if a black girl has
exactly
a big butt, or if she's a bigger girl,
right? That's
and we're talking about through the white lens, the white male gaze. So they're okay with a bigger black girl or a big butt black girl, and I don't know if that's fetishizing or exoticizing us or not, but they're fine with. They don't like it on white women.
I think
white women.
It looks
big butt white women tend to date black men.
Black men, yeah, because black men love them.
And white men probably think they've been fucking black men.
I think about this a lot because it's just fascinating me. When I was just at my niece's game earlier, you saw a lot of mixed couples, and invariably the bigger white women were with black men.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I think they have no other choice. I don't want to be mean, but they don't have any other choices. Like their men will not date them. Like
that's true.
It's just impossible for them. If they want to find love or happiness or whatever, that's the only place they have to go.
Yeah.
Especially not if they're younger.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just nothing for them else to do.
Yeah.
And I think And I don't know what it is about white men, but they'll accept a black woman any way she is because I think they might be scared to suggest anything else. Like we're so confident to them, you know, they're just like, that's the way she is. And that's the way I'm going to take her. I'm not going, you need to lose weight, honey.
It might be, but they better for damn sure acknowledge that they're lucky to have her.
Right.
Okay. You got lucky and got a black woman. You better thank the gods.
Yeah.
Right.
They definitely did. So, and for anybody who's listening who doesn't know me and KC, we're not BBWs, so we don't want to really speak on behalf of, you know, BBWs. I don't know. I feel like I'm like a cheeseburger.
A girl style.
And I'm about to eat it. You know, that's how I feel. Oh Lord. So for anybody who's listening, you know, Casey and I are not BBWs. Negula's sort of our resident expert, but we wanted to hear about her personal experience because she, you know, again, she made some really interesting comments in an earlier offline conversation we were having, and we wanted to talk more about it. There are not plenty, but there are companies are starting to incorporate curvier black women. ASOS has done it. Fenty Beauty does a great job with all body types.
Savage Fenty.
Savage Fenty. Sorry. Savage Fenty does a great job with all body types. And some other Adidas, you know, and some other folks, you know, are being more inclusive. So there is more love, or at least a show of inclusivity.
It used to be a time when you would never see a big woman in anything other than being the single, you know, the single mom or the single best friend or something of that nature.
Right.
And she's loud and ghetto.
Never had the love interest.
Never. Right.
Can I tell you, that's why I always despise the Parkers to this day.
Oh yeah, because
they're loud and fat.
Yeah. And I don't blame you.
I don't like that trope.
Or like was it the preacher's wife? Was it Coco Brown was a single? No, or was it Loretta Devine was a single mom with the multiple kids? Mm-hmm. It was a movie.
Was it The Preacher's Wife?
And then she ended up dating the bus driver, you know. And then it's like, it's great that they got coupled up.
Tyler Perry plot too. Remember?
That's what it was. It was. I think I must have blocked him from my memory.
Yeah,
yeah. It was a Tyler Perry production.
She was a single mom with 2 kids, and she dated the bus driver, but then, you know, the bus driver looked like Boris.
See, that's what I'm saying. The
bus driver don't look like Boris Kojo
at all, and that's what I'm saying. Okay, so and it's no shade to the actor who played, but I can't remember. But it's like
Lisa Arundel Anderson.
Not her, not the daughter. It was. I think it was Loretta Devine, who was the mom, and
Lynn Whitfield.
And no, not their mom. She was a side character.
Oh, okay.
Yes, with a side story.
Oh, okay.
And she was a heavyset woman who married the heavyset bus driver.
Yeah, we can't have 2 fat people in a relationship.
And you know, and I'm like, okay, so does she not want? She's not good enough for Boris Kojo or an Idris Elba, you know, because that's. Come on, let's be real. There are some BBWs out here that got some fine ass men. Oh, stop playing.
Yeah. And they be fit too, or little.
Right. You know,
interesting.
It's some weird types.
You just said you can't have 2 fat people in a relationship.
Oh no, I can't. I can only be the fat person. I can only be the fat person in the relationship. I hate to be like that.
So you usually have like a petite fella?
Well, let me tell you who's attracted to me. Really skinny black men.
Mm-hmm.
Short black men.
Mm-hmm.
They love the Climatree show.
Yeah, they love it. They can't, you know, they can't get enough of me. But it's so funny that tall, skinny men really do like. They don't want. Well, somebody told me, bone on bone don't feel good.
It doesn't.
Just like
it doesn't.
Fat people.
Right. And that 2 fat people. That's just too much. Ways. That's too much.
Because I'm gonna tell you guys a story. When I was in tech school in Biloxi, I dated for a very short time this dude. He was tall and skinny. Fast forward over 10 years, I get stationed in Japan, and my daughter, she's in the NICU, and they have a photo of all the NICU families. Well, guess whose photo was posted up there? His. And he was with a white woman, a bigger white woman. And I'm talking like pre-pregnancy, you know, she was a big white woman. And I was like, that actually makes more sense than me and him would have. Mm-hmm. Because yes, let me tell you, sex with a skinny man is not great. I myself, I like big men. I'm talking like...
She does like husky fellas.
I do. I do. And
husky meaning heavy D, husky meaning just muscular.
It could be anywhere from, he looks like he used to play football at some point. Like he has to be big, like
chunk it down.
Gladiator big. Like it could be anywhere from heavy D to Prince Fielder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, big, like a 250 minimum big.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and
meanwhile, I'm weak for the lanky. Not flimsy built lanky, but lanky and sturdy. Lanky and or sturdy built.
You just got to be fine for me. I don't really care. But if you're not fine, and I mean that. I mean, I'm like very shallow. So I've had men that look like, you know, my fetish, which is like, I'll be sure I'm still into the light skinned dudes. I don't care what nobody says.
Okay.
I still love them. I just still.
Can you come to 2021?
No.
You was back in the 90s.
I'm gonna stay there, and I'm gonna keep all the light skinned.
I mean, I don't discriminate. Shit, I can go from, you know, French vanilla all the way.
Yeah, to whatever. I mean,
all the way to.
I have a preference for big men, but I will date anyone.
Yeah,
you know?
if they're a good man. I mean, I'm not obviously not gonna throw away a good man just because of the color of his
right.
skin. That's not But if I had my druthers, you know, my man will look like Drake.
Now, you know, speaking of being that light skinned, I have a TikTok crush, which is weird at my age, at my big ass age, but his name is Jared Hudson. He only likes big women. And it breaks my heart every day.
Do you think that these likes that we have, because I think about this sometimes, like, where do these likes that we have come from? Is it something in the childhood? Somebody who gave us our first attention? Somebody who gave us a positive experience?
My dad was 6'3", 250.
Okay.
So that's sort of where my type comes from.
I think I went just the opposite of my family is filled with tall, light-skinned people. You know, slim, athletic, built, whatever. And I just I'm not impressed by light-skinned because I come from a family filled with light-skinned people. So that's just not a thing for me.
So do I. I don't know.
It's just not a thing.
I mean, we got half and half, really. You know, the daddy's dark skin, the mom's light skin, and all the kids come out caramel.
See, it wasn't until the generation of grandkids that we actually started getting color in my family. Because, you know, my grandmother is super, super light. And my mom is super, super light. And it wasn't until those kids started marrying browner skinned people that we came in varying colors. So
I want to pivot back to the BBM. I mean, what did I say? Yeah,
BBW. Or we can talk about big men if you want to.
I was going to say, I think I was going to say BDS.
Oh, wow.
We can do that, but maybe not this show.
Yeah, that's another show
for another time.
Because I would love to talk about that.
That's another show for that time. Stay tuned. But BBWs, like talking about the men who fetishize BBWs. Do you come across that a lot?
Yeah, that is a thing. That's definitely a thing. They like to have sex with you, but don't want to take you out. Like I think
Malik.
On the game.
On the game. Remember Malik?
I didn't watch that show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a whole episode. Exactly
Exactly. It's true. It's totally true. They'll tell you the sex is better. They tell you they like it better, but they can't take you in front of their friends. They can't take you out in public. Yeah, that's something that I think every big girl goes through, being that secret lover type thing. And that, you know, until you get confidence you think that's okay because, you get told so many times that, you're not the beauty standard. So I think in your early years, if you don't have a lot of confidence, that's always probably going to happen to you.
Were you always confident?
I was confident in my intelligence. I was confident in academics, all of that. Dating life, not so much at the very beginning. Yeah, because it just wasn't a thing that I felt was open for me. A lot of, although crazy enough, white men love me. Mm-hmm. They love me. They think I'm some kind of little spitfire. She's so funny, aggressive. She's so
feisty.
Yeah, feisty. I just love her. Yeah, and they didn't care that because let's just face it, white men love tits and black men love ass.
Right.
And a lot of us big girls got some really big ones, big breasts, and that brings the white boys to your doorstep.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what I kind of.
That's true. But eyeballs are like stuck.
Right. I wanted to bring up something that this book that I read about a few months ago. It's called "Fearing the Black Body: The Racial Origins of Fat Phobia."
Huh.
And she wrote this book, and it's by Sabrina Strings. She wrote it in, I think, 2019. And basically, she talks about how the fat phobia that we have racial roots. That the same words that we use for racist stereotypes are used in fat stereotypes. Lazy, not motivated, unintelligent. The same. She says that really the fat phobia is a part of white supremacy.
It is.
Because most people in all other countries, they come in various sizes and no one really cares because, if you think about Africa, there's, nations of people who are thin. There are nations of people that are chunky. There are, and that's just everybody accepts it as a body.
Men do love a fluffy lady.
Oh,
and that's part of our heritage, right? It's
they
like
really
the semblance of wealth is
right.
That you're heavy.
Well, there's a whole artistic movement dedicated to, that is maybe not dedicated, but that is named for that body type, Rubenesque.
Yeah.
He would paint, Ruben would paint women who had little bellies and stuff. They were fuller women, and it's called Rubenesque.
Right.
So it was a whole art form.
Right.
That basically, the women were wealthy.
That's what it. Yeah, that's what it symbolized.
Because you can afford to eat good.
Living off the fat of the land.
Right. You can
and the backs of the people, but that's also another show.
Yes, definitely.
Well, Nejela, thank you for coming on the show. I'm glad that you shared that perspective with us because that is something that we need to talk about, and we could probably pull this thread a little bit further, but and we will actually pull this thread a little bit more because there's so many other things to talk about when it comes to celebrating curvy, and then where do you draw the line? You know what I mean? Like there's also morbidly obese.
Right.
So how do we draw those lines in the sand? And I think that's a conversation worth having as well. We'll have to do it again.
You ain't never seen a woman on, was it My 600 Pound Life, that was single?
Oh,
they all got men.
Every single one of them.
Super
taking care of
them. Hoes being lifted up out of it. And them hoes being lifted up out of that joint in a forklift sometimes.
Right.
Like,
with the boyfriend.
She got once they pull her up, there's a little skinny man up underneath her ass.
That's right. Right. With a tray of cupcakes.
Yeah.
Viva la cupcakes,
true.
Baby.
It's true.
Viva cupcakes. I love them. Thank you, Nejela.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Casey the Alchemist. Everybody, you have been listening to 3BC, empowered by the Kitsukian Network. This is your girl, Joy, and we will see you next time.
3BC, recorded at Kitsukian Studios. Directed, produced, and distributed by Kitsukian.
Join the conversation at facebook.com/3BC.